Well, more concerns over the ongoing nuclear negotiations with Iran. Coming up, 46 retired U.S. generals and admirals sent an open letter to President Biden. They're strongly objecting to entering a new deal because they say it would weaken our nation's position to hold Iran accountable. Michael Allen's a former special assistant to President Bush, as well as managing director at the strategic advisory firm Beacon Global Strategies. Michael, it is great to see you in person today.
Good to see you.
So there's this letter from the generals and admirals. Let's pull this up so that our viewers at home can see it. They say the new deal currently being negotiated, which Russia has played a central role in crafting, will enable the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism to cast its own nuclear shadow over the Middle East. So we keep hearing this criticism of the new round of negotiations over and over again. Why does Russia have a seat at the negotiating table on the same side as the U.S. while they're plundering Europe?
Yeah, it's a great question. Russia historically was involved back in the Obama administration, and they've continued to play a role. But we ought to look at that very, very critically. Russia is aligned, of course, with Iran and wants to do its bidding. Iran is up to no good. They try and steal and otherwise hide what they're up to. And we need to be very, very careful to ensure that the Biden administration, at the very least, tries to get longer timelines on some of the centrifuge limits that were in the original deal.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, we were hearing from all sides, from the Iranians, from the Europeans, even from the State Department, that a deal was imminent. This was going to be inked in a day, and then it was less than a day, and then it was any minute now. And it's kind of floated off into the ether. Do you know what's happened over there during the talks?
As I understand it, it is a presidential level decision now, and the president's got to decide whether he wants to be able to strike this particular deal here and whether it's good for the United States. I don't think it is. It's not longer and stronger as they pledged. We're actually getting less for more. And so I think the Congress is going to be very, very skeptical of it. So I think the president is trying to make a political calculation.
While you're here, I want to make sure I ask you about the latest happening on the ground inside Ukraine. We keep hearing from various countries now that the military assessment is the Russians could completely take over Mariupol, the city that they've basically razed to the ground already within a matter of days. Talk to me about what that means strategically in this war. Is it a game changer?
Well, I worry about it, of course, for the Ukrainians. One, because it'll be a Russian morale boost. They haven't been able, as you well know, to do anything very significantly. But it also has some strategic value. It's on the coast, and it may allow the Russians to have a new staging area down south so they can go north.
You traveled all over the world with President Bush. You know what goes into decisions about where the commander-in-chief goes and when he goes there. Do you think the Biden team should be thinking seriously about sending himself into Ukraine anytime soon?
Absolutely. As you remember, President Bush went to Iraq and surprised everybody. It was a huge morale boost for the military and for the country to see him there. President Biden should have done this already. It's time he goes soon.
I was not expecting you to say that. Michael Allen, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
You bet.